Hello, life teaches us through fails. I simply turn them into words. One day, I suddenly realized something that seemed so simple, yet it became the key to changing my entire life. It wasn't a grand, earth-shattering event, but a quiet, internal shift. A whisper of truth that had been waiting for me to finally listen. For years, I had been pushing against the world, trying to force things to happen, wondering why everything felt like a struggle. The revelation was this: we can transform our circumstances, our relationships, and even the very essence of who we are, all through one powerful foundational act: learning to love ourselves fully and deeply. Not just accepting our flaws, but truly cherishing the person we are, right here, right now. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Almost like a cliche you'd find on a greeting card. For a long time, I dismissed it as just that. A nice sentiment, but not a practical solution for real-world problems. But have you ever truly paused and wondered, why does the world start loving me when I love myself? What is the mechanism behind this profound shift? It's not magic, but something far more fundamental. The truth is, the universe runs on a quiet, immutable law. The energy you give out is the energy that returns to you. Think of yourself as a broadcasting tower, constantly sending out a signal. That signal is your inner state. When you love yourself, you broadcast a signal of worthiness, peace, and acceptance. You walk through life with lightness, warmth, and a quiet calmness. Your posture changes. Your smile becomes genuine. You move with a sense of purpose, not desperation. But when you don't love yourself enough, you carry invisible burdens: frustration, fear, insecurity. This isn't just a feeling. It's a tangible energy. It's the tension in your shoulders, the tightness in your jaw, the constant low-level anxiety that hums beneath the surface. Even if you say nothing, others can feel it. People subconsciously react to the energy you project. It's in the way you avoid eye contact, or the way you apologize for taking up space. Your energy introduces you before you even speak. I used to live like that, completely swayed by compliments and utterly crushed by criticism. A kind word would make me feel on top of the world for an hour, but a single negative comment could ruin my entire week. My emotional state was a boat tossed on the waves of other people's opinions. I thought that was being real and sensitive, but it was really just dependence. I had outsourced my sense of self-worth to everyone around me, making them the arbiters of my value. It was an exhausting way to live. Then I learned that my worth doesn't come from what others say. It comes from how I treat myself. It's built in the quiet moments, choosing to rest instead of pushing through exhaustion, speaking to myself with kindness after a mistake, and celebrating my own small victories without needing an audience. When I began to honor who I am, my needs, my boundaries, my dreams, everything around me began to change. It wasn't abrupt. It was gentle, almost magical. The critical voices in my life seemed to fade away, replaced by supportive ones. Opportunities appeared that felt aligned with my true self. Energy never lies. It is the most honest form of communication. When you're at peace with yourself, the universe feels it. The world around you has no choice but to reflect that peace back to you. It's like tuning an old radio. When you're on the wrong frequency, all you hear is static, noise, and fragments of other conversations. It's confusing and jarring. You can't make sense of anything. But as you slowly turn the dial, you start to hear something familiar. And then, once you find the right frequency, the sound becomes perfectly clear. The music flows. Life works the same way. Self-love is the act of tuning your own frequency. When your energy matches the frequency of love, respect, and wholeness, you start meeting the right people at the right time, in the right way. They aren't new people. They are people who were always there, but you were simply not tuned to their channel. But there's one important distinction to make here, a trap I fell into for a long time. Loving yourself is not the same as being selfish. In fact, they are polar opposites. I once confused the two. I thought self-love meant putting myself first in a way that disregarded others. I wanted to be the center of attention, to be admired, to prove my worth. I would dominate conversations, subtly steer situations to my benefit, and feel a pang of jealousy when others succeeded. But that wasn't love. It was just a reflection of my inner emptiness. I was trying to fill a void with external validation. Here is the core difference. Selfishness is born from lack. Self-love is born from wholeness. The selfish person wants to take because they feel incomplete. They need your attention, your praise, your energy, because they cannot generate their own. Their cup is empty, and they are desperately trying to get others to fill it for them. But those who truly love themselves give freely, because they already have enough. Their cup is overflowing. They don't need anything from you. They can listen without waiting for their turn to speak. They can celebrate your success without feeling threatened. Their giving is a joyful expression of their own abundance. So what does it mean to love yourself in a practical sense? It means listening to your inner voice in the middle of a noisy crowd. It's honoring your own energy levels, even if it means saying no to something you think you should do. It means knowing when to rest and when to move forward. It's about forgiving yourself for not being perfect, for having bad days, for being human. It's about treating yourself with the same compassion you would offer a dear friend. Most importantly, it means not having to pretend just to be accepted. You can finally take off the mask of who you think you should be and simply be who you are. Because when you truly love yourself, you no longer need anyone else to lift you up. You have become your own anchor. You already know your worth, independent of praise or criticism. And that stability, that inner peace, is enough. Love, work, relationships, they all shift when your frequency shifts. Every aspect of your life is touched by this internal transformation. If you've ever asked, why do I keep meeting people who hurt me? It's a valid and painful question. The answer often lies in your frequency. You may be resonating with those who are also hurt, who are also operating from a place of lack. Hurt people are drawn to other hurt people because the energy is familiar. But when you learn to love yourself, when you begin to heal and operate from a place of wholeness, you'll attract those who do the same. You will start to resonate with people who are also whole, who are also capable of giving love from a place of abundance. Love then becomes light, not possession, but connection. It's not about needing someone to complete you, but about sharing your completeness with another. I've lived through years of pain and emptiness, not a material lack, but a deep spiritual hunger. I had a good job, friends, a life that looked successful on the outside. But inside, I felt hollow, like a beautiful house with no one living in it. I was selfish, closed off, and deeply unsure of who I was beneath all the layers of expectation and performance. I was a stranger to myself. Yet when I began the slow, patient work of filling myself with understanding, gratitude, and self-compassion, I discovered something profound. There is no greater happiness, no deeper peace than that which comes from truly loving yourself. And when you're full, you naturally begin to give. It's not a transaction. You give not because you need to receive something in return, but simply because you wish to share the warmth and light you've cultivated within. You no longer live to be loved. You live because of love itself. It becomes the very air you breathe, the foundation upon which you stand. That's when the world opens up. That's when the magic happens. The universe smiles back, not because it has changed, but because you have. And you'll realize a beautiful, simple truth. Life has always been gentle, as long as you are gentle with yourself. The kindness you were seeking from the world was waiting inside you all along. Love yourself, and the universe will love you too. It has no other choice.